Happy Thursday, Flosstube. Hello, crafty friends. How's everybody doing today? It is October 1st. I'm celebrating high tea today. And maybe you are too. So I'm always asked, what the heck is high tea? And it's something that I came up with a couple of years ago as a way to feel like it was okay to take something from my stash that I've been saving for good and use it and just start it and make it. And, you know, even if I never finish it, I think there's a difference between, you know, makers and those who are project finishers and those of us who are serial starters and, you know, process stitchers or makers. And I definitely fall into the second category. The thrill, the joy for me is always in the choosing of the fabric, the colors, the feel of the thread through the fabric for me, pulling that needle through. It's all good. And for me, the finish is, while yes, I love the finish, it is, to me, it's usually secondary to the actual making of the item itself. So I usually do a giveaway when it's time for high tea, and the last time, so this year I'm doing 4 separate high teas, one every 3 months. And so July 1st was the last high tea, and I was offering up a project bag for the giveaway. I used the YouTube random comment chooser on that video from July, and it chose Claire Susie. So congratulations, Claire. You are the winner of the Evertote project bag. That was the prize up for grabs in the last high tea video, and I will be getting that bag out to you once I get home in a couple of weeks. So I'll send it out along with the box of other stuff that I need to start sending out. Okay, so what have I chosen for today? Well, I'm gonna make you wait a minute because I have a finish. I have a finish, and I told you I wanted to finish this before I started my high tea new start, and I did. So hooray for me. I finished my Martin Luther King sampler. That means I had 2 finishes in the month of September. I finished my Christmas socks and I finished this small sampler, and I love it. I really love it. So my plan is to turn this into a drawstring project bag. All of the details on what I used for this project will be in the drop down box below, and a link to the pattern as well. Stone Street Stitchworks, the MLK sampler, and I stitched this as part of the diversity and inclusion hashtag diversity and inclusion Sal on Instagram. A sentiment that I wholly believe in. So hooray, I have a finish. So that means that I, totally guilt-free, get to start something new. And here's what I'm going to start. Marjorie Massey, Quaker Street. Look at this. Look at that. Isn't that wonderful? Now, many of you may recognize this piece. This chart that I have was a Pass the Stash from Ellen Reed of Maximum Cross Stitch Power Hour. I have wanted to stitch this ever since I saw her start it and work through hers and finish it. And she very kindly, when she was done stitching hers, she tucked her pattern into the mail and sent it to me. And so that makes it a little bit special for me because I watched her stitch it and I have her copy of it now to work from. So, you know, her little creases and folds in the pattern makes me think about Ellen when I'm stitching it. and how much I like her and all of that goofy, funny friendship stuff. And so yeah, so that's the first special thing of my high tea. Now, the second part of my specialness of this new start is the fabric that I'm going to use. So here it is right here. I've even ironed it. I know. I had the generator running, so I thought, well, time to iron that. This is, remember I stitched my Martin Luther King sampler on a remnant of Silkweaver fabric that I received in a grab bag of goodies from the New Jersey Flosstube retreat. When I was at the New Jersey Flosstube retreat, we went to Needleworkers Delight, which is the home base of Silkweaver, and I, of course, had to buy some fabric. So this beauty right here, isn't it beautiful? I wish you could see it in real life because it ticks all of my boxes, this fabric. I can't even tell you how much I love this fabric. I just think it is so beautiful. And it's a 46 count. This is going to be, I have a couple of pieces of 46 count, but I've never actually stitched on 46 count. So this is the very first time that I'm going to do that. So this is a Zweigart Bergen Linen 46 count, and it is in the colorway Almond. So in case you need to avail yourself of something similar, if it ticks all of your boxes, now you'll know what it's called. And this piece is a 12 by 17, 46 count. I'm going to bring that up nice and close so you can hopefully see a little bit of that. Oh, the color. It's tricky today. The sun is coming and going and coming and going, and I have my lights on in here, so I'm not sure you're going to really see the true beauty of it, but oh, it's so beautiful. And of course, the orientation of the design is this way. And I think that this piece, I have to triple check my measurements before I start stitching. I'm 99.9% confident that it is actually the right size. Okay, the third and final part of the specialness, high tea factor of my new start has a little story behind it. Some of you know the story already. Many of you who are close to me here in Ontario, who I've known personally for years and years, know the story of what I'm about to share here. You know it quite well, and I have been teased about this following item for many years. That's okay. I'm good with this. So those who know me here in locally know that if you ever need a length of 310, I'm the girl to come to. Because I have a rather large amount of DMC 310. Sorry, the boys just came running in from outside, and I think I'm gonna have to edit a little bit of that out. So let me start over again. 310, DMC 310. And I don't know how well you can see this, but it is it's a bit of a mess. It's a bit of a chaotic jumble. I mean, it's not a jumble, like it's usable. It's not knotted or anything like that. I'm gonna try and get a close up here so that you can see the state that this is in. I'm not sure the lighting today is gonna allow me to do that. There we go. So you can see it's kind of, it clearly isn't the way that a DMC cone comes from the supplier, right? Okay, so, and I love it. I love the fact that it is all messy and jumbled up, and here's why. Way back when I purchased my my series of landmark tapestries and charts, the Tempesta pillow collections. You all know Savon. I've been working on it forever. I've shared the pictures of the ones that I've completed up my stairwell. I've stitched 5 of them. When I purchased all of those, all of them use a lot of black. And so I thought, oh, what a good idea. I'll buy a cone of black. No big deal. And so there was another woman at the same time who bought the same series of charts that I did. I didn't know her. And in fact, I still don't know who it was. It was the owner of my LNS at the time, Kathy, Thread and I, they have since retired, but we're still good friends. And she knows the story quite well, clearly, because she was the conductor of the whole thing. She said, there's another woman who's bought the same series of charts as you and needs a whole lot of 310. How about we order, oops, I don't know why, all of a sudden, there we go, I'm back. Why don't we order a cone and you can split it. You can share it with her. And I thought, oh, that's a good idea. Then I'll have enough 310 to stitch all of those charts, no problem. So it was 1,000 meter cone that was ordered, 1,000 meters. That's a lot. If I had to convert that to yards, what is that in yards? It's slightly, is it more? Oh my, I know the answer to this. I know the answer to this, of course. Anyways, you get what I mean, 1,000 meters. And so we were going to split it. So 500 meters for each of us. And so Kathy came over for a stitching night one night and she brought it with her. And she said, I just thought that maybe you could weigh it and wind off what your half of it is. And then I will take the remainder of it to the other customer. And I said, okay, we can do that. I had a postal scale at the time. And so Sarah, my daughter at the time, she was 9. She was 9 years old. And she was still at that age where she wanted to do things with her mom, and she liked hanging out with me at the table with all my stitching friends and being part of the group. And so she, you know, Sarah's eyes lit up and she said, ooh, Mom, I'll help with that. And so we got the scale out and we weighed the initial cone, got our measure, got our weights, and we knew how much we needed to bind off so that we had, you know, half and half. And so I found an empty, I don't even know what this was from, or it's possible even that Kathy brought it with her, that she had it from the shop. It was just an empty cone. And so I kept the original cone on the scale and Sarah held the empty one. And Sarah spent, she spent the rest of the night winding off my half of the DMC. And so that's why it's a little messy. And I tell you, I am going to be using this 310 for the rest of my life. And so for the rest of my life, every time that I use this cone of 310, I am reminded of that one night when my daughter was 9 and she liked hanging out with her mom and the stitching friends. Now, my daughter is now 19 and she still likes hanging out with her mom, but she doesn't always want to hang out on stitching night, but that's okay. So isn't that a good story? I love this 310. There's another story about the summer that I forgot to bring this to the cottage, and I had hoity-toity, no, it was hoity-toity was my planned birthday start, and I really needed this, and I left it at home, and Sarah had to find it for me, and there was a series of very funny text messages back and forth between us where she was a little bit cheeky about finding the 310. It was quite funny. I think I shared it on the Facebook group at the time. However, this cone of 310, which is about as plain as you can get, is very special to me. And I am going to stitch the entire Marjorie Massey using probably a very, very small amount of my huge amount of 310. So there you go. That's my project. That's my high tea start. Each one of these things means something really special to me. And so I'm super excited about it. Okay, I have a giveaway for today. I told you about it last video, so many of you won't be surprised to see this gorgeous chart is my chart for giveaway today. This is the Lila Studios Nevermore, and I will mail it anywhere. I have my own copy of this. I'm waiting for a few of the threads, but this will probably be a new start for me next year. I don't think I'm going to fit it in because, just a reminder, in a few weeks I'm going to be starting the Jeanette Douglas Blooming Bouquets stitch along. So that's probably going to be one of my very last new starts for the year. Yeah, I'm kind of excited about that one. So this one definitely won't be started this year, but it's just, I know it's perfect for this time of year. It's probably one of my favorite sort of seasonal, this time of year, fall, Halloween sort of time period charts that I've ever seen. I love the Quaker style of it. I love the bird. I just, the quote is perfect. It's really a fantastic chart. So if you've never seen this one before, I know most of you have, but if you haven't seen it before, again, it's Lila Studio, excuse me, and I know you can find it on her Etsy shop. I think, what is it? lilastudio.com. Oh, her website is www.lilastudio.net. And I suspect there's probably a link there to her Etsy shop. I love this chart. So the giveaway for this is going to happen on the Facebook group, the Friday Off the Grid Facebook group. The last giveaway was here on YouTube for high tea. So the Facebook group is going to be the home for the high tea, October 1st high tea giveaway. So you can find it over there. I'll have a picture up by the end of the day, by the time this video is up. So, love it. Okay, so many things to stitch and make and do. Okay, well, that's it for me today. I need to get back to some sewing, and Nicholas has some homework to take care of tonight that he needs a little bit of help with. And then I think we're having hamburgers for dinner. We don't have a barbecue at home, at our home in London. We keep our barbecue here, so it's kind of a special summer thing that when we're here, this is where we have barbecue. So I think we're going to take advantage over the next week of maybe having a few extra barbecue meals so that we can have our fill before we head back home. The plan is to still head home after the Thanksgiving weekend, and I believe it was Katie Arnold who asked me, and I meant to answer this last week and I just didn't. I'm sorry. Katie asked me how long it takes to pack up and move back. Depends usually on how much stuff we have, and also keeping in mind that John comes back and forth a few times to do chores that need to be done before it is properly winterized and closed down. So I will spend a fair bit of time next week over the course of the week packing things up, and then not everything will go home with us all at once. He will be bringing back a few things with him as he comes back and forth, those extra times that he has to come back and forth to do those chores, like closing the water supply. And I've mentioned all the boring stuff that he has to do before. It's a lot of hard work, but you care about the crafting, I know. So I do have a lot of work to take care of in the next week and a half or so. Canadian Thanksgiving is coming up, and it's the weekend of the October 10th. For those of you who don't know, our Thanksgiving is completely different from American Thanksgiving. And so I'm going to be a little shy on the videos over the next coming 2 weeks. So I will be back again on Monday. So I'll see you again on Monday for probably what's going to be a longer Flosstube episode, and I hope to have a few more stitching things to share with you then. I think that's it. Okay, off I go. Happy high tea. I hope you have a great night. Enjoying your new start if you're joining in with me, and have a great evening, and I'll see you on Monday. Take care, everybody.